Okay, so dictionary methods. We can iterate over the keys. So they have this first thing here. So for K in the keys, we're going to print K, so it's iterating over the keys. So notice this is dot keys. So we're going to get got key, and it should say, you know, the um, uh, uno here, and then dos, and then tres. Oh wait, no, it's English to Spanish, so it should say 1 and then 2 and then 3 for our keys. And then the value here, because you see it's getting the value from the key. And we can also list out all the keys. This way we could just say print that list, but you know, they have it this way, so I have that copied here. So you see I reset my English to Spanish, and then I do this, and we'll run that. Whoops, did I not have that highlighted? Try that again. Okay, so got key 1, which maps to value uno, key 2, value dos, key 3, value trace, and then if we just say print the keys, we get the 1, 2, and 3. Now they point out that actually this is done so often that there is a shortcut if you just don't put anything. So if you just iterate over the name of the dictionary, it automatically is iterating over the keys. And so here I did these same commands, but I dropped the dot keys, and if we run this, we'll see we'll get that same output again. Well, so here they didn't do this, but if I toss that part in, we'll get exactly the same output. So now to run that again, and you see we get exactly the same output both times, but I was able to drop the dot keys here because it automatically iterates over the keys if I don't tell it anything. Now, so that's the keys, so I can list the keys. Similarly, I can list the values. There I do need to write values. And so there we have the values, unos, dos, and tres. So they have that. So there are the values. Now, if we use items, it actually returns a list of tuples. Okay, so it's really a conversion thing. So it's converting the dictionary to a list of tuples, and so I can do that one, and that's just with the items method. Okay, so we see that we get that. And then we could do that same sort of iterating, but instead if we use items, then we would iterate over the tuples of key and value like this, and that says V. Now I'm gonna actually put in here which, well, yeah, you know, we'll get the idea. I mean, I could say which maps to value and then put the V. So we're going to get basically these same 3 lines of output from this one. So, and so you see that's just a different way of iterating. We can iterate over the tuples. That, you know, actually I would say that to me just looks a little more efficient in writing than doing it this way with the English to Spanish of K here, of that key. You know, this just looks a little more straightforward, I guess. But yeah, it's one and the same. Okay, and then we have the in and not in. I think they just did all ins. So I'll do that first. Now these are the ones they did. They did a 1 in English to Spanish. Certainly that is a key. And so that should return true. 6 is not in there, so that should return false. And tray, it's in there, but it's a value, not a key. And notice this has nothing here about value or key, so it's assuming keys. And so this tray should also be a false. And so if we run those, we see true, false, false. Okay, but if I were to ask if tray is in the values of English to Spanish dictionary, then that should be a true. And we see that it is. We see that we get true from that. Okay, now, and we could do the same thing with not in. So let me just take a couple of these, the first two. Okay, and if we go back here, we have the in and the not in. So see, I'll just change this to not in. Now, since 1 is in there, the next to the last one should be a false, and then 6 should be a true. So we'll run those, and false and true. Okay, so we could use either in or not in as we need to. Okay, and that's the methods they have listed. I think there are more methods. I haven't looked them up. But if you use like W3 Schools or the Python help, then you could see if there are any more methods, which I'm sure there are. But that for us does it for methods.